Channel 2 sports guy Steve Phillips recently had a chance to take a trip that would have been unthinkable a generation ago. He traveled with several members of Woodmont Baptist Church to the Soviet Union for a cultural exchange visit which lasted more than 2 weeks. The group had access to people and places most American tourists have never seen. And as Steve reports in part 1 of our series, Inside the New Soviet Union, the people of the Soviet Union appear to be enjoying their freedom, but are sometimes finding it painful.
Red Square in Moscow, a sight almost instantly recognized around the world. The buildings of the Kremlin haven't changed for centuries, but what goes on inside has.
That was a very awe-inspiring experience. I know you and I were there together, and as we walked over and stood in front of St. Basil's Cathedral and with Lenin's tomb in the back, we both remarked of the fact that we never thought we'd be here.
Baptist minister Harry Rowland is one of the Nashvillians who got the chance to see perestroika up close, to see its sweeping changes, both political and economic. The people of the Soviet Union now have choices, even at the voting booth. Just a couple of months ago, Boris Yeltsin became the first official elected by the public in the more than 1,000-year history of the Russian nation. Igor is one of the millions of Russians who voted for Yeltsin.
I like it. I like it's a person who can do something for our country, for our people, for me.
1,500 miles southeast of Moscow is the city of Almaty, capital of the Soviet Republic of Kazakhstan. The changes that have swept Moscow have also been felt in this city of more than 1 million people.
The new openness of the Soviet Union has not come without a price. In the past year, the ruble has been devalued twice, and inflation is running rampant.
Kazakhstan has not been affected by the food shortages that plague much of the Soviet Union, but people here are short of clothing, paper products, and toiletries. The change to a market economy will take time, and it's likely to get worse before it gets better.
It's a difficult life. The paperwork of still having to go to the government for everything, the government owning the place where you live, taking 8 years to get an automobile, and also living in a region that, for all practical purposes, is still set in 1940. The economy is on very unstable ground, and what will happen, you can find 100 different opinions, but I think that certainly before we get to market economy in the Soviet Union, there is a long, bumpy road.
Well, tomorrow we will visit a folk festival in a village called Chalik. Bob?
I think all of us over here in the U.S. would take it for granted that everyone in the Soviet Union would relish this change, but you say that's not really true.
No, most of the people that I spoke with were very educated people, and they're excited about the opportunity for democracy and a market economy. But there were a lot of people that I met on the street who are very scared about the future. They're not certain what's going to happen, and right now things are very difficult, and some of them are wondering maybe if they should go back to communism.
One big reason, too, is their ruble is not worth much, is it?
The ruble was worth 75 cents a year ago. When we were there, it was worth 4 cents, and we heard it was going to be devalued again probably sometime this month.
Part 2 tomorrow. Thanks,
Yes.
Steve.